Good evening and salutations, my J fans. Okay. Trace, no, sorry. Brooklyn and Chase. You know, it's a very complex scene because Chase was very understanding. He didn't hold her against her. He was supportive and all the other stuff, right? And I'm not disappointed with that scene because I feel like it can go either way. If it was me, I wouldn't have been too happy about that if we're going to be honest. Like, I'm all about transparency. Okay. So I don't care what you did back then, but something that major, I would want to know. And I might have been upset about it. I might have been like full blown angry about it, but I would have been upset about it. And I would have felt a little hurt by it, to be honest. Not like yelling or screaming, but, you know. But towards the end, he does sit there and ask questions like, was you ever curious about, where your child is and stuff like that? And, while he doesn't push, he's like, hey, listen, if you do decide you want to try to find your child, I'm here either way. The part that annoys me about this scene in a sense is that while on one hand you can tell just how difficult and frustrating and stressful and how glad she is to sit there and regardless of her not saying anything and thinking that he was going to be upset, he wasn't, and that's a good thing. My issue is like even if he's not upset about it, and she's like, oh, I didn't tell Ned, I didn't tell the father's child. That's what that bothers me. That's what that bothers me because I know people can sit there and say she was young, she was scared, this, that, and the third. But maybe this is just coming from the man side, but just in general, not sitting there telling him about that vexes the living shit out of me. It truly does. Because, I said a couple of days ago, or even last night, I was like, it was. What did I actually sit there and say? Um, that was actually the wrong term. I would sit there and say that it was definitely selfish. She might not have intent. Oh, trifling. Okay, that makes sense. She might not have actually done that with the intentions on hurting Dante, but her actions were selfish in a sense. And I'm always going to sit there and stand by that because while you could sit there and say he might or he might not have been ready to be a father, and most likely not, he still should have been given the opportunity to at least been considered. He should have been in that decision making process. And she just completely cut him out of it. And I think that's the problem with this rewrite. Is that for me, Brooklyn has always been kind of whatever, one way or the other. But now it's like it just comes across as trifling and selfish what she did. I don't know. I can't rock with that. Now, Jack or Bob the accountant is with Jocelyn. And Jocelyn's kind of freaking out a little bit. And long story short, at first she wants to sit there and call the cops because she's like a self defense. And then Jack is like, okay, where'd you get the gun from? From Dex. I got it for protection. And so while she can say that it was self defense, and we all see that as self defense, you think about this. You brung a gun that was not registered to you. You don't have a gun license, and you brung it to a cabin that that's owned by Cyrus. So like how do you think this is gonna sit there and look? This is premeditated at this point. So she agrees with Jack, or she agrees to sit there and have it, have Jack cover it up and everything like that. They go back to the office, and then he pretty much just tells her everything. He shows her the picture of Dex, and long story short, he's like, "Yeah, I want you to sit there and be a WSB agent. You have the fortitude and physical and mental and everything like that, and you'll be great." And here's the thing: to be honest, she would. I honestly do think that she would actually be a badass agent. She's in shock right now. She's not, and she literally threw up not that long ago before she went back to talk to Jack again. So, like, her headspace is not there, and she is mad. She is mad. She's like, "Hey, listen, you knew this whole time, and well, you let me, you essentially you used her to get Cyrus, you know." And so with that being said, I'm surprised she's not more upset. Maybe because she's in shock, and she did say something along the lines of, "What is some sort of sick game because you like my mother?" Yeah, that's essentially what you wind up doing. You wind up putting her in this situation in a sense. I mean, you kind of did. I mean, granted, she was gonna sit there and do it with or without his help, but the fact that the dude was literally outside, when Cyrus was about to sit there and take her out, is insane. I guess because he picked up a hatchet and not a gun. He didn't feel the need to step in. Drew and Jason. So yeah, Jason showed up uninvited, by the way, and pretty much breaks into Drew's place. If we're going to be honest, and he's like, listen, I want peace. This would be good for Sam. This would be good for the kids and everything like that. We got to sit there and try to find a way to make this work. We got to do this for Sam. And in the beginning, I did agree with Drew. Drew's like, so did you think about that? Did you think about Sam when you first attacked me? When you attacked the scout's father, did you sit there and think about what was Sam once then? Because that's the truth of the matter. I know people could sit there and say, well, that's nowhere here or there. No, it is. Because you didn't sit there and think about that. You just came in there and you acted. And I know people could sit there and say, but he was mad. I don't give two flying shits. You didn't think about it then, and then you're coming in his face and you're sitting there talking about it now. So I understood why he was like, are you serious? Then things get a little topsy-turvy, and by topsy-turvy, I mean this is where Drew gets to a point where, um, and come on, bro. Listen, if I was your lawyer, I'd be charging you so much goddamn money. Because then at this point, he's just like, no, those people are horrible. The Quartermaines are horrible. I don't want to sit there and do that. Scout has me. Scout has Willow and the kids. I'm like, mother. Because like at that point, yeah, the Quartermaines are a bunch of lying, scheming, hypocrites in a sense. He's not wrong. Yeah, he did something that was really bad. They all done stuff that was bad. Okay, so like not one of them should be sitting there coming at Drew's neck in the same way as like they didn't sit there and do their shit too. But my thing with Drew is that I'm like, bro, so essentially because they hurt your feelings and you're so butthurt about what wound up happening, you're going to deny Scout a relationship with her brothers because of your feelings. This is where it's like, bro, as a parent, you got to sit there and put your feelings aside, and you have to do what's best for your children. And what's best for Scout is to be in a Quartermaine's house and to have that relationship with Danny and Rocco. And it's not to sit there and say he's not going to allow Scout to be with Danny and Rocco, but like damn well that that's what's best. And you're not doing that because of your feelings. You're putting your feelings ahead of your child, and that's you know what I'm saying. Like that's wrong. Now, speaking of going back there, Sasha and Tracy. Sasha sit there and tell Tracy, "Hey, just a heads up, I got a PI that was asking a bunch of questions, trying to get dirt on Michael." Then they get into this whole thing about Sasha and the baby, and Tracy being like, "Well, that baby's not just yours." And in a sense, it isn't just yours. It's that baby's also Michael's. But the point is, Sasha's like, "Yo, listen, what do you mean that my baby is your baby?" And she's all like, "Oh, he's a Quartermaine and this, that, and the third." And the reason why I sit there and I talk about this specifically is because, boo, when Willow was going through the same shit with Tracy, and Tracy's in there essentially kidnapping her children, okay, it didn't matter. But now, because you're going through this, now you know what it's like sitting there dealing with the Quartermaines the same way that Willow had to deal with the Quartermaines with her children. So, I'm kind of just like, yeah, not exactly, now you know how it feels, don't you? Yeah, not going to be so judgmental moving forward down now, are you? Anyway, she says what she says. She walks off. Jason comes in there, and Jason sits there and tells Tracy that Drew was coming after them. With the PI that Tracy was not there talking about, and they're kind of being somewhat of a united front. And Tracy's like, "I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm glad that you're here." You know. Then there was a point, just going back to the Drew part. There was a point where Drew was talking about this what if scenarios, like my whole life is off course because you got to grow up with the Quartermaines and I didn't. And I'm just like, part of me wasn't there thinking what Jason was thinking was like, okay, are you done? Like, where's this going at? Like I get it, it's your house and he's going to say what he's going to say, but I'm like, you're talking about some what if scenario. Why does that matter? You're basically sitting there saying my life sucked for a very long time while you had it cushy and good. Okay, well, I mean, unless you have a DeLorean, this is so irrelevant at this point. Now, just going with the hospital stuff, I don't know. I kind of didn't really care about it too much. And I'll tell you why. Lulu essentially said that, when she found out that Laura's Laura was not there saying that Cyrus was trying to kill her and everything, but it failed, and it got her liver. Whatever that Cyrus did, he inadvertently woke her up. So if Cyrus didn't initially try to kill her, doing what he did, then she wouldn't have woke up. So like, okay, that's kind of a good and bad thing, I guess. Now the whole Lucky thing. The reason why I didn't really care for it that much is because I knew it was going to wind up happening. You know, oh my God, he goes into defib. Is he going to sit there and make it? Is he not going to make it? All right, I'm going to look at my phone and then, I don't know, maybe another 10 minutes, they'll sit there and say he made it. Oh, he made it. What a surprise. Guys, you really had me going there for a minute. I was kind of on the edge of my seat. I mean, I'm glad I was sitting down. You see the sarcasm, but you understand that we knew that he was not going to go anywhere. And, Isaiah saved him and everyone was happy and da 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 da. Now, Dante and Anna, eventually go to the cops. And, by the time they get there, everything is swept, it's dusted, it's clear, there's no Cyrus. So, at some point, Anna's going to be like, oh, he really did actually carry out his plan. Um, Now, of course, Jack did sit there and say, hey, listen, if we go through with this cover up, no one can know, not even Carly. Okay? Jocelyn's sitting there thinking that, oh, you did all this, you led me to these breadcrumbs, just so that way you could sit there and, you can have something on my head, so this way I can sit there and join the bureau. I'm like, Jocelyn, no offense, but you're you're not that important. Okay, you're really not. But I still do think that she would make a badass agent. I really do. I mean, in some cases, maybe even a better agent than Anna. Uh, I feel like that's actually about it. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. Now, if I missed anything, write in the comment section below. I'm going to do my best to sit there and try to do this live stream tonight. I had another collab. I'm not going to sit there and say who, but I had another collab. I just want to wrap that up not that long ago. And I still got like 2.5 soap operas to do. So, we'll see. But I'll post it on my community tab if I'm coming on. Okay, most likely I'm coming on. Let's just kind of get that out there. But I will sit there and post the time that I'm coming on. As far as the members will sit there and see this video first. If you're not a member, make sure you join to become a member um, before everyone else sees it on Monday. But anyway, it was an interesting collab. I'll sit there and say I'm not gonna sit there and say what it is, but it's soap related, and that's pretty much the gist of it. And it's no one that I think anyone pretty much suspects. So it'll be a good surprise. Anyway, if I missed anything, write in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.